Hey guys, it's Darian from the Gamer Gods Fail. Um, the Watch Dogs 2 3 hour trial, a free 3 hour trial of the actual game, came out about a week ago, maybe 5 days ago. Anyway, I was a pretty big fan of the
Okay,
first game.
I'm at Holmes Distribution Center.
A lot of people weren't, but I decided to give this a shot. I was never really planning on getting this because I liked the story of Watch Dogs 1, and I heard that Watch Dogs 2 didn't really have much of a
I'll see what I
connection
can
to
find.
Watch Dogs 1. I kind of passed on it. So, but this was free, and it gave me a free 3 hours, and I decided, what the hell, I'll try it. So, I got to playing it, and one thing I really noticed was, almost everything I loved about the first game was gone. They replaced. Now, granted, Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs 1 was a pretty boring protagonist, but at least he wasn't a really annoying one. Um, they got rid of the dark tone of Watch Dogs 1 and replaced it with, like, this comedy 80s action parody where people always references, cliche 80s movies and shit. And while it was
I
funny,
think I got something.
it's not really what I was looking for. I don't think cyber terrorism should be like that. I think it should be dark and creepy like the first one was. Um, and because of how many jokes and one-liners were in it, it was very hard for me to follow the story of the 3 hours that I played it. Um, so yeah, it was. I couldn't follow the story. I don't think the story was that good. It didn't feel like it was going anywhere. I felt no tension because of how not seriously the story was being taken. Um, it's still entertaining. I just subjectively prefer the dark tone of Watch Dogs 1 over Watch Dogs 2.
Where are you?
Um, so yeah, now for the gameplay. Um, it feels like a slight improvement
Got it.
overall. The combat and stuff and the movement. This one has parkour where you can climb obstacles and buildings and stuff to sneak past enemies and get to your objectives easier. Stuff like that, which is really cool. That's one of the few things I didn't like about Watch Dogs 1 was that the movement felt a little too stiff. In this one, the movement feels a lot more smoother. You can do more things, um, and so on. Um, Now, I've played both ways. I've tried doing stealth and I've done combat. Um, Stealth is kind of lackluster in this one. I definitely prefer the stealth in the first one over this one. Combat, shooting is overall pretty good. It's harder. You can get killed a lot faster in this one. You only take a few shots before you go down. So I feel like it is veered towards stealth. Problem is, the stealth feels kind of lackluster. So,
I found the
you
drone.
know, pick your poisonous playstyle there. Um, so yeah, and the driving, mm, not good. As a matter of fact, this is something I feel was far worse than in the first one. A lot of people complained about the driving in the first one. I thought it was okay, but this one is even worse. Whenever I turn my vehicle, I feel like I can't. The camera doesn't snap to the back of your vehicle, which means that when you turn with the left analog stick, you have to
I got
also
some shipment
turn the
and I'm
camera
heading
with
back.
your right analog stick in order for the camera to follow the car that you're turning. It is super annoying. It is so counterintuitive, and I don't like it. I cannot get I can't get used to it. It's just bad. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to think of what else to say about the game. Um, well, I looked into my saved data in my PS4, and I noticed that my Watch Dogs 2 save wasn't there. So if it's something like I need to buy it digitally for $59.99 instead of finding a hard copy on sale in order to retrieve my save data, I'm probably never gonna pick up the game. Um, because I don't want to start all over again. I don't want to, start 3 more hours than what I should. Yeah, you should probably keep that in mind. Maybe do a little research on that. I don't know. I hope it's not like PlayStation Now where you have to, you have to own PS Now in order to keep going. Um, so yeah, there's no way I can retrieve my saved data. I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's on the cloud. If it is, I can't get to it. I don't have PS Plus to transfer the data from the cloud to my hard drive. So, yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be continuing. I don't know if I'll be buying it. Again, it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't a bad experience, but, I'm not going to start all over again. I don't want to. So, yeah, well, that was a lot quicker than I thought. I thought this was going to be, like, twice as long as it should be, but, yeah, I prefer the first one's atmosphere to this one. This one is just like a cliche of 80s action movies, parodied. Like what I've already seen in Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which, by the way, is actually featured in this game. There's an arcade cabinet with Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. So I don't know why it's there. It's like Ubisoft. Well, yeah, it is Ubisoft. But whatever. I just don't see why it should be comedy. I mean, a lot of people hated Watch Dogs 1, but not because it was too serious, just because it had, some gameplay issues. And the main character was boring. And they replaced it with a super cliche parody 80s action game with a kind of annoying main character and a bunch of cliche stereotype goofballs that work with you. Watch Dogs 1, you played more of like an outsider vigilante, and in this one you play like a member of, it kind of reminds me of a fictional version of Anonymous, but with, if Anonymous guys were actually having stupid fun and being funny. So yeah, it was, I don't know, it was just kind of mixed feelings for me overall. If I could give it a final score for my first 3 hours, I'd probably give it around like a 6.5, maybe 7 tops. I mean, it was decent enough, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it. Probably not. But, feel free to try it. It's free. And, yeah, it can't hurt, really. I mean, it's free. And if you don't like it, you don't need to get it. But I just wanted to share my opinion. Alright, guys. Well, thank you very much. And, my Resident Evil 7 review should come in the next month or so, at least. 3 weeks or whatever. And, yeah. Thank you for watching.